no veas, a Sevilla. Y al último que cuando ya salió la bien de regla.
It is Friday on Raid Shadow Legends, but you knew that. The moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. The Swordmaster's Path, and with the Swordmaster's Path is the ability to finally get guaranteed Leonardo. That's all it's been for quite some time now. Leonardo. When's the Leonardo event? When's the Leonardo path? I'm saving up for Leonardo. Guys, am I cooked for Leonardo? I have 2 sacred shards and 5 mystery shards to my name. Am I cooked for Leonardo? And that's all it's been. And, well, we're finally here, so yeah, I'm skipping this. Nah, not really. That would be quite the clickbait of a century. At that point, you're not sure what you're watching, myself or Game Leap. Okay, so the Hero's Path, Swordmaster's... Wait, it is a Hero's Path. What am I saying? You can tell I haven't rehearsed this one. Is, how do you get this guy? Well, it's either you do a lot of dungeon grinding, when right now there's nothing good of the sort. No, really, I can show you right now. There is no dungeons going on in terms of 3x Savage, 3x Speed, anything of the sort. In fact, the Shredder dungeon has died of cringe because the Chronophage set was a complete failure. At that point, wondering how can I put in Chaos Wakes instead? Chaos Wakes couldn't get any less popular, you not smart person. So instead we are probably going to be just summoning lots and lots of shards. In terms of shard numbers, it's the same it always is, which is unexpected. Honestly, I would have thought that given how much people thought they'd genuinely die in real life if they didn't get this champion, they'd cut this down to like 3,500 or something, knowing that they're going to do it anyway. Yes, you were. But no, it's 4,500. And if you look at the amount of points required, it is also not too bad. Sure, you don't get a key to start with. You have to get one here, but this is really not that hard to get. That's like 1 sacred shard by itself. So 80,000 for Leonardo and 50,000 for Leonardo. Perfect soul. But we're not going for that, and I'll show you why. You know how normally people say mortal soulstones are only good as event currency? Well, I have this. A 4-star for Leonardo. So, yeah. Sure, 5-star gives him a bit of a better lightning cage and some accuracy and resistance for whatever it's worth, but that's not worth however many sacred shards it is to me. In terms of sacred shards, you probably noticed you have 93 of them. 93! What have you been doing all of this time? And the answer is not much summoning, apparently, including for fusions and their follow-up events. Skip Granite, Skip Maria. Who was even before that? I can't remember. The last one I actually did was for Crocodile Throat Ripper, so yeah, it was worth it. I'd do it again. But yeah, if we go over to the progressive chance, then turns out I've already selected it before, but the pool is April O'Neil, Donatello, who I have, Raphael, who I have, Corvus the Corruptor, who is the empowerment for April O'Neil, that's why he's there, and Rick Topperbold, who is the empowerment for Michelangelo, because as you know, collabs and one-time champions don't empower themselves. They use a surrogate for that. For Donatello, it's Dracomorph, and for Raphael, I believe it's Cancer of a Cyclone, but don't quote me on that. So, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This summon pool is not great. I don't value any of these, really. Sure, I had April O'Neil selected, but I am not going to use her. The others I'd use even less, so the plan is open the exact 25 we'd need to get all of the coins for Leonardo and then bounce. If we get April O'Neil, which is a very big if because it's like 6% chance at 15 and 9% at 25, give or take, we'll switch over to Donatello, but it's actually pretty likely that we only get one single legendary out of this because, sure, it's all golden flashing, but it's 6% chance. And honestly, I don't really care too much what to get out of these. There are less than 5 affinity legendaries that I actually want at this point, and that's out of a pool of about 250, so yeah. What we'll do for a little bit of an educational value is we'll review every champion that we get in like 10 seconds or less, give or take. Otherwise, yeah, I'm at 93, so I'll go down to 68, and then that. So, yeah, let's get started, shall we? Stuff is Master Fearmonger. He's pretty much useless. Legally Distinct Jason, who sort of hits someone for a bit damage, but you're not going to use him. The attack epics with no utility are the worst you can get. Next is Aeox Rememberer. He's good in Iron Twins or for Scarab King because he has poisons and also extends them. Decreased attack, decreased crit rate, a bit of healing. He's good. I would recommend 6-time him at some point. You're going to end up needing him. Next is Corpse Collector, very old champion. Does, I know, a core poisons, a few of the debuffs, but there's only really one place you'd use her, and it's like a stage 14 Cursed City. Past that, you have many, many other better options. Masamoto, champion without a passive, even though he's Shadowkin. He's kind of below average, I'd say. This only goes up to 75% chance. This is on a 4-turn cooldown with a small turn meter boost. It's only if you're desperate for that one stage 6 Soul Cross, but past that he is not useful. Yelagona, well, epic attack champion with a bit of debuffs, but not sort of. Again, you'd have to be desperate to use her because there's lots of other options you have. Wouldn't recommend it. Do I even have to try and pronounce this? I mean, just another attack epic. Obviously, you have better options. It's only like the supports and the tankier champions that have easier time surviving because epics generally have worse stat spread. So again, only if you're really desperate. Leech, he's only really used for fusing Razin Scarhide for general progression and also the challenge quests. Past that, I wouldn't really recommend him for anything. Woad Painted, originally one of the worst epics in the game, now actually pretty decent at what she does. Full heals herself, cleanses herself, heals your team with a surplus heal, reflect damage, which is great for Fire Knight, especially when her A1 is a double hit, and HP scaling, so she's not going to do any damage, but it does mean that she's going to heal for a pretty decent amount. So, yeah. I end up using her pretty infrequently, once every month. Alright, who's this going to be? Morrigan. Right, that is my second one, and I believe my Undead Faction Unity is already, Faction Guardian is already full, but previous fusion, she's a decentish speed booster, can both True Fear and everyone, which combos pretty well with Fabian, who is the same faction. Decreased accuracy is better for like Hydra, and the main draw, I'd say, is the heal reduction, which is used for Amias for Lunar Archon. So you can just build her very tanky. She's always going to keep this heal reduction on him. He can't get rid of it, and it's just worth whittling him down. I never booked her or gave her Masteries. She's just only used for niche options, but if you otherwise need some form of speed booster, then early on she is like fine. Better than like Haikatu and anything of the sorts. Ripper, got buffed once in terms of the numbers for this. He's still useless. Yeah, he's a 4-star chicken or something to commission in terms of Faction Guardians. Alika, very, very underrated epic. I'd say there's still some people who confuse her with Maeve, but she has a lockout on a 3-turn cooldown. This can actually hit very hard, and this can do decent damage as well. And what's this do? Oh, that's nothing. Okay. But she will come in a lot of handy for anyone progressing barbarians or anywhere that she's allowed unlimited content. And I have seen her as a other few uses as well. So yeah, she's definitely one to keep, 1 to 6-star, 1 to empower, etc. Yeah, very good epic. No, that's more than 10 seconds. Karam, again, one of the worst attack epics. We have better options than this nowadays. He got buffed once, he is still pretty much hopeless. Next champion, well, next shard even. Ball first, Droglord. What does he even do? Okay, chance to decrease attack, decrease crit rates, and a single target provoke. Yeah, he doesn't seem great. I wouldn't do anything with him. Okay. Lady Atessa, again, epic attack, who doesn't have a whole lot going for her. Got buffed once in terms of what the A3 does, but past that it's, yeah, single target stun, 3-turn cooldown, not good enough. Lady Quillen, I believe she's only used as a Lady Mikage fusion epic, or if you're, again, just like Soul Cross Desperation. Okay, next shot. Dwidden Verunik. He's actually pretty decent. 60% chance of cleansing a random ally on 1 debuff. And then A1. Shield with self-heal and counter-attack. Increased buff duration. Oh, this is a counter-attack. He's actually pretty decent, I'd say. I would definitely build him at some point, even if you just put him in a bolster set for your Sylvan Faction Wars progression. Not a bad epic at all. Let him pass. Also looks very good. They always have like good champion designs for the most part. Aishima, again, only really used for Lady Mikage fusion. Past that, I would not overly recommend her for anything at all. Okay, legendary. Who is it going to be? 4. Okay, 4 was a past fusion during Asgard Divide. This is my second copy, so I never used a first, so. But he does do very good damage. Self-buff sleeves, decrease speed. This scales up to a very large amount if there's multiple enemies. This can hit multiple times. It isn't capped at all. And then he has this, which gives him an extra AoE hit, an extra crit damage in the first place. Give him a good soul in terms of Nature's Wrath. Give him Horrific Coronet. He'll scale up based off this debuff here, and yeah, he's actually very good. I just wouldn't build him because I don't have a soul for him because I was too cheap to bother. But past that, yep, he's a legendary. You see him a lot as an arena nuker as well at early levels, although later on he's not quite as useful because there's no self-defense. Ronan Vasilcum, she's one of the only revivers in Sylvan Watches if you don't have Elva Autumnborn or whoever else has it. Past that, she has some speed boost, decreased attack, not terrible at all. Keep going, 6 more shards. Adriel, she's a support, but she doesn't actually contribute that much. Decreased attack on a 5-turn cooldown. She has to build crit in order to have it work all the time, which is stupid. Support should never have to build critical or anyone else who isn't a damage dealer. And then a bit of a heal on a 3-turn cooldown. Yeah, she's definitely one of the worst epic supports in the game. It's just because supports are weaker after all. Golgarab, everyone wants him at first. He's like small arbiter. Increased attack, increased turn meter, revive, heal, speed aura, this, I suppose, can work on occasion, but yeah, gold grab's good. We all like gold grab over here. Next is Yolfrig, another Mikage fusion epic, some speed boost, well, turn meter boost, increased attack, some kind of bit healing, and what does this do? Oh, this is like a champion turn. Yeah, he's not terrible. You could do worse, but yeah, you're mostly going to just feed him to Lady Mikage. Warden, probably I'd say one of the worst epics in the game. For some reason, he plays this very weak version of debuffs and buffs. I don't know why. I guess you meant to use the Nature's Bounty Blessing with him, but why'd you even be building him in the first place? So, yeah, he's, but they aren't buffing epics anymore, because it's not really going to change anything. Lufia, probably my least favourite epic in the game, just for say one. Burning Arrow. Doesn't place HE burn. What's up with that? Okay. This has a low chance of freeze and then decrease speed enough 4 turn cooldown. She's not very good at all. Right, last one, I believe. What's it gonna be? Another epic, okay. Jirang, got buffed once. Still not particularly great. We have champions like Duke of Pierce who do this to the entire team, and yeah, okay, so no April O'Neil. Am I too upset about that? Not really. I didn't have Shredder anyway, so I can't get a full collection. Anyway, over to the Swordmaster's path, and start with whatever. It doesn't really matter too much. Which of these do I value the most? Probably these. Get this one key. Also, you could like spend more Sacred Shards if you wanted these for whatever reason, but I'm not going to bother because reasons. Take this key, go down this path. It's pretty linear. See, 90,000, 80,000. There you go. Exactly 25 Sacred, and that's Leonardo. So, I'd say how good is Leonardo? I'd review him, etc. But I believe there's about 500,000 other videos on YouTube right now are covering him, and I generally don't have enough to say on the matter to be different about it, so I'm not going to waste your time regarding that. You'll probably just hear for Sacred Shard pulls, which were, if you're early game, hope for slightly educational. I'm not the best teacher. Okay, yeah, I really have nothing more to say. I'll let you go. See ya. It's been falling down again.